So if you're going to say UCC is regulating comedians, who is a comedian? Isn't Elias Lukago a comedian? So that's funny in itself. You can't be rich and funny at the same time. Don't be funny. Click on my subscription button here and watch videos from this YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Until as the numbers keep growing, I be humbled. And thank you very much for subscribing to my channel. And those that haven't, I'm encouraging you and begging you to just head over to this button right here and do the subscription, because this channel is getting bigger by the day. Now, UCC is proposing regulations on the entertainment industry, and not just the entertainment industry, but the whole creative industry. If you're a comedian, a musician, an events organizer, an artist, a fashion designer, anyone, comedy is sort of a large thing. It's a large space where people come to talk about serious things unseriously, or people come to talk about unserious things seriously. Lately, even politicians have become comedians. When a stand-up comedian wakes up in the morning and their job is to come up with a joke, they look around what's them. They look at a tree or a goat or a human being and try to relate these things. Like, they look for the funny bit in these things. And once they get it, pop, that's the joke. A sketch comedian looks at situations in their society, or in their families, or in their homes, or at their workplaces. And once they see a funny dialogue, a funny conversation, boom, they have a sketch, they create it, and they become a comedian. A clown. A clown looks at funny faces, funny expressions in society, and once they see them, boom, they've become a comedian. And lately, cartoonists have also become comedians. So they see something funny, they draw cartoons, they exaggerate it, and boom, they've become cartoonists. There's something interesting about comedy. If you're thinking about comedy as a profession, because there is no school that teaches comedy, or there's no school that's going to teach you how to be funny, then you'll think about someone who has experience in making crowds laugh. That's a comedian. But if you look at a broader perspective, all politicians we have here are comedians. I mean, look at them. I mean, isn't Elias Lukago a comedian? Every person that we have is funny in their own way. There's a guy from the northern part of Uganda who wanted to strangle himself on the floor of parliament. Just years ago, the whole parliament was it was a funny Jackie Chan video. You understand? So if you're going to say UCC is regulating comedians, who is a comedian? When you go to TikTok, every other young person that has an account there is trying to do something funny. So how is UCC going to be able to make these people pay, and not only pay, but to regulate what kind of content they are funny about? Now, one of the things I've seen in a UCC document is that for someone to be able to get a joke they've created performed somewhere for people to laugh, they have to pay a fee. I think that's like, for you to be funny, you're supposed to pay. This is discriminative. People who are actually funny are broke because they have experiences, and those experiences are funny experiences. You can't be rich and funny at the same time. And as a comedian out there, if you're watching this video, I need you to share it widely so that someone in UCC could see it, that these regulations, rather than help the industry grow, are going to kill the funniness that we had in comedy. Because think about it, at the end of the day, you're going to have someone tell you what kind of jokes are funny. And most of the times, these are guys who don't even know what a creative process of a comedian is. Now, some of the times, comedians slap society the wrong way. Like when they crack a joke that's tribalistic, like when they crack a joke that's body shaming, like when they crack a joke that's sort of cutting society into bits. Sometimes they come under fire from society. Let the society decide who is funny and who is not. Not some guy sitting in an office and saying this is a joke that should be passed and this is a joke that shouldn't be funny. Like, to come up with a joke that is funny, and not only funny to your peers but funny to thousands of Ugandans, is not a joke. Now, if UCC comes up with a regulation and says that someone has to sit down, write their jokes, and before they perform their jokes, they have to get permission from UCC, I think that is sitting down on someone's creativity. And that is not going to help us as an industry. It's going to help those who have interests in leading society. So I think that people at UCC ought to sit down and call stakeholders and say, look, we want to sort of regulate you to make you grow. How should we be able to do it? What is even funny is that the people who want to regulate comedians are not funny. So that's funny in itself. But because it's funny, don't be funny. Click on my subscription button here and watch videos from this YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Until the next video.